Today we shall be talking about the poem Tiger in the Zoo, written by Leslie Norris. The tiger in the zoo gives a picture of two sides. A tiger generally we see it's a wild animal and we expect it to be in the forest. And here the poet writes the two phases of the tiger in the forest and the tiger in the cage or the zoo. What is the habitat? What is the feeling? It should have like this, it should have been like this, and now it is in this way. This is what the two comparisons are given by our poet Norris. The first one, it says how the tiger is in the bars, first stanza. We have almost 5 stanzas here. The first stanza says the tiger is behind the bars and what are its feelings. Next 2 stanzas say the tiger, if at all that tiger was in its natural habitat, how it would have been behaving. This is what it would have been doing in its natural habitat. Might be it is happy, and might be in the first one, first stanza, it is very not that happy, it is sad. So let us start and here a glossary is given. I ask all the children to make a quick note of all these meanings in your textbook immediately. Then when I go with the explanation, it will be easy for you to relate and go with the meaning when the explanation is going on. Okay? Make a note, then start with your explanation. Then again start with your explanation. Then listen to the explanation. He stalks in his vivid strips the few steps of his cage on pads of velvet quiet, he in his quiet rage. As the meanings went on, stalk is he walks slowly. Did you understand this one? He is saying about this tiger. He is walking slowly and cautiously. Where is he walking and what is the length he is walking? Is just a small length, the length of his cage. When you are put into a particular cage and you are just given a space to walk, you get that you are so very with anxiety and you are anger with that situation. You are developing angry into your attitude. The same way, the tiger here is making a walk. What else it can do? What is the activity in its life it can do the whole of the day in the zoo? So it is slowly walking, cautiously walking, looking to the visitors and doing nothing. And in the vivid strips, different kind of strips, the tiger has the yellowish body and the black strips, and all the strips are very nicely designed on its body. It is very beautiful and fascinating to look at. But those all things, it is just of waste, and it is like in the cage and everyone is watching but it has nothing to do. Its life has become waste and it is just making a walk and nothing to do in its whole life. So it is getting frustrated and it is even getting getting anger. Angry mode it is coming into, but not able to show that angry or its anger. So the poet has used that quiet rage. Rage is the violent angry attitude, but it is showing quiet, but it is quiet. It is not able to show its anger. A few steps of his cage. The cage length, it keeps on moving. It is going that side and coming back. It is having just a few steps. On pads of velvet quiet. And we know the paws. It's having the cushiony paws. And it is nicely, slowly walking so that the noise of the voice is not heard. The tiger approaches very slowly towards its prey. So it is coming on its paws. In his quiet rage. It's anger, but quiet. It cannot do anything, so it is quiet. Go to the second stanza. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass near the water hole, where plump deer pass. Here, the poet thinks about, if at all he is in the forest, what kind of activities might have been going at that time. He should be lurking in the shadows. Lurking, hiding. Generally the tigers, they hide themselves under the big grass. They move slowly. They approach the prey and suddenly they make a hunt. So here he might be lurking, moving, hidingly. He is behind the shadows, behind the grass. He is trying to move forward. This is what generally the wild animals do, and it is their natural habitat. They do that with. So it should be doing those all things, but it is what it is doing here. It's just walking, nothing else it is doing in its life. Sliding through the long grass. Slowly, again it is moving through the long grass. Near the water hole. Generally these wild animals, they stay nearby the water holes, the water resource, whatever the resource in the jungles they have, they hide themselves there, because many of the animals time to time they come to those water holes to have water. That is the time, easy time when we can make a target and we can hunt. So these wild animals generally they make their they sit there, they wait there patiently, and they wait for the animals to come and they make an attack. So here it is sitting by the water hole where plump deers come. Many of the animals, small animals come, they come to have the water. So it is waiting there so that it can make a jump, it can have an attack, and it can hunt for its food. The third one goes with, he should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, bearing his white fangs, his claws, terrorizing the village. If at all, by mistake, sometimes it so happens the wild animals are moving in the forest. Sometimes when they are not able to find food, or sometimes they move about from their path, they come towards the village side. When they come to the village side, it is a terrifying situation. They try to terrify, because they are also little afraid of the people, but the way they put their fangs and the way they put their paws, and they try to snarl, they try to roar, it is a terrifying scene, and the breathing also becomes too very heavy. Sometimes it becomes in that way. The wild animals leave the forest area and comes to the village area. Coming to your fourth stanza, but he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, starking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. Now what is he doing? Actually the 2 and 3 paragraphs says what exactly he has to do he was doing in his forest area. The fourth stanza says, but what is he doing actually now? He is caged here, and he is put in a particular small cage, and he is moving about. His strength behind bars. The strength whatever he is having, the tiger is a very vigorous animal, big wild animal. Its strength whatever it is having is of no use. It is just behind the bars and it is just walking. The strength is not exhibited here. Staking the length of his cage. Again, it's just walking the length of the cage. Ignoring visitors. In the initial stages might be the visitors was a point for him to look at, but it becomes a routine one. Every day there are visitors and the people come and go, so it becomes a routine one. He starts ignoring the visitors and it just make a walk and sit, and it is having its whatever it is being fed to, it is having it, it is eating at that time, it is leaving, it is roaming, it is doing by its own. Nothing is related to what the visitors are, who the visitors are and what the visitors are doing there. So it is ignoring the visitors because it has become a routine work in his life. Come to the last stanza. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. What does that he do? In the very morning, from the right in the morning, what is the activity he is having? He is walking in the cage, ignoring the visitors. Whatever is fed, he is eating. That is what is done. The wild animal, the tiger, whatever the fantasies or the stories we have, nothing is being done here. Nothing is shown here. So it is only having a walk. It is very angry, frustrated, but not able to exhibit its frustration. So it is finally what happens after everything is over, the visitors go off, it is night. In the night, what again is happening, because that is a zoo area and the patrolling cars keep on moving. There also there is no, like it is nicely in the forest, it is having a happy sleep, that is not possible here. Continuously you are having the patrolling cars going, the lights are being put out, the whistles are going on, the horns are going on. Still it is very disturbed. He hears the last voice at night. Even in the night there is no peacefulness there, and whatever the climate he could enjoy in the forest, that climate he is not able to enjoy, but unfortunately or helplessly he is just staring towards the stars. He is not having a happy sleep. He hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars. The cars are moving about and he is only hearing that one. There also there is no quiet or there is no peacefulness, and continuously you see the cars moving here and there, so that it is also their work, the zoo work. But still it is a disturbance to the animals. And stares with his brilliant eyes. He is having a sharp and brilliant eyes, but he only can do nothing but stare at those lights, at the brilliant stars, and he is staring at the brilliant stars. So the poet want to give a difference between the life of a wild animal in the forest and in the zoo. There is a vast difference. Whatever the activity or the life they lead in the forest is really a different kind of fascinating life they do there, and they have all kinds of ups and downs, and they have their life to lead. But here they lose their whole of the life is lost, and they are only like the puppets in the zoo, have nothing to do, and all the strength, whatever the stories we go on with, everything is captured within these cages, and they are just put on like the dolls or the puppets in the cages, and the visitors are looking at that and leaving away, but the tiger is not able to do anything, and only in a frustrated way it stays in the zoo. So this comes to an end with your